Guys, I'm not prepared for how much you look like it.
Yeah, no.
Let me state again, when I was sent the still shot, I thought it was a joke.
Right. Yeah, it wasn't a Photoshop. It was a real deal. Real deal.
So that is what Satan looks like in the movie. Guys, do y'all see that?
That side by side right there is
That's the one everybody kept sending me.
Yeah,
And I thought, well, somebody's photoshopped it.
Yeah.
I'm trying to see what he's. Rick, could you give me audio right here? I want to see what his voice is.
If you will bow down and worship me.
Doesn't Obama say the same thing?
Rick Burgess. I was talking to John Calvin Wilburn III on the way home last night, and we just talk. I like to, when we're in the car, I just like to talk with him, and I was like, "Hey, what do you want to be when you grow up?" 11-year-old.
Right.
And he said, "Well, when I'm retired from the MLB and NBA," he said,
both of them.
Yes, he said.
Jackson.
He said, I probably want to be a vet, and a veterinarian."
Right.
And I said, "A veterinarian?" I said, "Oh, okay. So you're gonna do surgery and stuff like that?" And he looked over at me and goes, "What are you talking about?" I said, "Well, you mean it's an animal doctor. I mean, you're a doctor. You're gonna, well, no, I'm just probably gonna give them the shots and deworm them and stuff." I said, "No. I said,
Right.
You're an animal doctor. People,
Right.
I'm not gonna cut on a dog." And I said, wait a minute. I said, "You're not knocking on people's door and going, 'Hey, can I cut your dog?' I said, dogs that come to the vet, they need help.
Yes, they do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so he started thinking about it, and he goes, "Well, I guess I'll just be a radio producer like you."
They always fall back to that.
And I looked at him. I said,
All
said, "Buddy, you sure?"
Yeah.
I said, "You sure?" I said, "Where Daddy's at right now, it's been a long road." And I said, not many.
Hard to get there.
I said, and he was wanting to be what I was.
Right.
And I said, I'm honored, and for some reason Tyler thinks he's doing the show with Hunter and Blake and Taylor.
Well, so does Brooks, Brody.
Yeah.
And
I got.
they all think it's going to be a very big show.
I got one.
Yeah,
that thinks
it's a
that,
lot of people. I mean, what's that? Is MC Hammer going to be there too?
It's going to be an ensemble.
Yeah.
If you can name all three of them.
Do they have to name their callers also?
Well, no, they don't
Just
have
their
to
full name.
Just their full name. First and last name of the three Turkey All-Stars that are here today.
Somebody been paying attention. They got a new
If
camera.
you're paying attention, there's a new camera for you right now. We go to Stephanie. Stephanie is listening out of Trussville, Alabama. Stephanie, can you name the three Turkey All-Stars that are in the studio right now?
Oh, my God.
Can you do
it?
Come on,
Tommy
Stephanie.
Wilcox,
Come on,
Tommy
Stephanie.
Wilcox is one.
one.
All right.
Eddie Salter.
There's two.
Gosh, no.
Boy.
But I had a story. Oh, my God.
Sorry, Stephanie.
I was telling Greg about it in the break, and Greg, you said.
Well, I thought everybody knew this.
Here we go again.
If you have nosebleeds a lot,
I thought everybody
you need to keep a spoon in the freezer.
A spoon in
A
the freezer.
metal
Now,
spoon.
let me stop
Not a
right
wooden
here.
spoon or a plastic spoon. Your typical, like your dinnerware.
Now, wait, let me stop right here. I assume, incorrectly I might add, that Greg is going to say you take this spoon that's been in the refrigerator because it's cold, it's a piece of metal,
Right.
and you put it up in your nose to help stop the nosebleed.
No.
And I think, well, that's going to make sense, but he doesn't say that.
No, he doesn't.
He says,
You got to pull your shirt off or pull it up.
Pull
You're
your
going to
shirt-
have to have help. You're going to have help. And you take the spoon, you start at the top of the spine, go all the way to the bottom.
A frozen spoon.
Yes.
Not on your nose.
No.
Down
Bare
your
back.
spine on a
Again,
bare
you're going to
back.
have some help.
Does it shut it off like a faucet?
Just stop it. You listen to these home remedies. A friend of mine
No, go
once
do
told
it,
me that
Rich.
Richard
Yeah.
Barker, by the way, if you want to know who it was. Richard Barker, years ago, his son played with my son. We played Little League all the way up. And Taylor would have nosebleeds. And Richard said, I tell you what, you need your spoon, Burgess. That's what he thought. He said, you need your spoon, Burgess, and it'll work. And I thought, come on, Richard, because he's a threat to make stuff up.
Right.
And Dad Gum,
Hey,
Dad Gum, it worked.
like shutting it off.
Shut it off. Like I took a fuzz, shut it right off.
Greg, you're all over it. Nosebleed remedies, okay? Home remedies can be surprisingly effective for minor nosebleed. Applying something cold to the back of the neck, whether it be keys, a spoon, an ice pack, seems to be very helpful in many ways when it comes to nosebleed.
Right again.
Now-
Y'all, seriously, guys, seriously,
Now-
I keep warning y'all, I know a lot of stuff.
Let's meet our contestants for the Tournament of the Eagle. He knows a ton about baseball. He's the IT director. It's a shame nobody cares about baseball. He's Michael Hothead Helmgren.
What are we?
He's from the landmass between Louisiana and Alabama. He's the producer of the show, and he must have witnessed his wife killing someone because there's no way he could have landed a catch like that. He's Calvin Speedy Wilson. He used to work for the power company. He can drink more than a camel. He looks terrible naked. He's Greg Burgess.
When have you seen me naked?
And now let's meet our celebrity judges. He's the captain of the USS We Be Big. He's not nearly as musically talented as he thinks he is. He's Rick Burgess.
Thank you. Of course, I performed in front of more people than you ever have. But yes. True story.
He didn't like that, by the way. He didn't like it. True story.
Hurt his feelings.
That's called set the record straight.
I know we're having fun, but let me tell you one thing.
Let me put you back on the shelf here for just a moment.
And
Pale boy.
Our second celebrity judge, standing 5 feet 4 inches tall, weighing in at 415 pounds, he's Bill Bubba Buster.
He's performed in front of more people than you ever have.
Just so you know.
It is the face of Healthy Connection.
Inspiring people everywhere.
All right.
Let's go to oh my gosh. This is even further over the line. Tim and Jasper, this is worse.
Tim, this cannot be
Tim!
real.
No! Tim, go
Good
ahead.
morning.
Hey Tim, how you doing?
Much grass.
Okay, glad you called, buddy. Tell
Yes,
us
sir.
tell us what happened.
Yes, sir. I've got a 18-year-old daughter. You know how, which I've got 3, but you know how you love your daughters, right?
Oh, sure. They're going to pick out your nursing home.
But anyway, she sent me a picture of a pregnancy test, and it said positive.
Your
And I
daughter
was, yes, 18 years old.
is
My baby.
over the
And
line.
she said positive, and I sat there for a second, and I texted her back, and I said, well, who is it? I mean, who is the fella? Because fella, I'm telling you, I was mad.
Oh, yeah.
I was wanting to go see this fella. And she said, I don't know which one it is.
That's over the line. Yeah.
He said, I jumped and my leg just kind of felt funny.
Oh, no.
Oh, yeah, it felt funny.
He said, I'm looking at him, and then I look down and I see a bone sticking out of my leg. He says, it wasn't a hurting feeling, but I just went into shock. He says, you don't know what's wrong with you, you don't know what's happening, and you're thinking, what just happened and how did this happen? He said, I have not watched the replay, and I never plan to.
He said, you got to pull yourself together and get the guys over here.
Yeah.
And that's when he said, hey, don't worry about me. I'll be fine. Win this game.
Right.
I
Did
mean,
you really say that? They add there to the story.
I was waiting.
Greg, don't
I was like going 1 Mississippi,
ruin it
2
for us.
I'm just
Mississippi,
saying,
3
guys,
Mississippi.
that sounds like a
I
script.
did see all
The
of
guy
them
had his tibia
around
hanging
him.
out his leg.
Yeah,
Greg.
that's what I'm saying. Last thing I'll be worrying about whether y'all won or not. Give a if you win or not. Y'all better get me somewhere.
I got a bone sticking out.
I mean, I hate to say that. That's true. That sounds great, no. But at that point, Final Four my butt. My leg is hanging off.
You better get me something.
Yeah, somebody better stop something. Greg Burgess. His leg's hanging off.
I'll talk to the team from my hospital room when I'm stable.
Yeah.
Oh,
Good luck. I might give you that.
I might give you good luck. And had a great time going over the crazy weekends that we all deal with. So now we've done 2 games. We've done a spend the night. Now we're racing home 2 hours to meet our 22-year-old son, who was celebrating his birthday this weekend. And here's what he wanted for his birthday, and this was kind of cool. He said, I am now getting ready to get out of college and be on my own. He said, this is my birthday wish. I want to grill outside a meal, side by side, father and son. I would like to now, since Dad, your dad, the great coach, Pop, has taught you to be a Burgess level grill master. Grill. I would now, and I talked to him about eating. You know, first thing he comes in, he goes, "Hey, well, you got the fire too hot." I said, see, that's silly, silly young man. Silly little long spatula, sloppy, with your tiny little BTUs. What do you know about thousands of BTUs? What do you know about a gas grill that's connected to natural gas? You don't see a propane tank here. This is the show. This is the big time.